start with opening statements from each of them, and we'll turn it over to media for a question and answer.
I got it. VJ Edgecombe. I'm just super excited to be here. I don't got much to say. I'm just ready to go play some basketball. That's it.
Johni Broome here. I kind of feel the same way. I'm excited to get to know you guys, get to embrace the city of Philly, and I'm ready to play basketball as well.
We'll start with questions. And as a reminder to media, please state name and affiliation for familiarity purposes.
Gina Mizell from the Philadelphia Inquirer. VJ, back here. Hey. Obviously, we saw the hubbub and everything after the draft, after you were selected, but just what are sort of the highlights of what you've done in the couple of days since then, as far as getting here, meeting people, just sort of what have the last maybe 48 hours been like for you?
Yeah, you said it all. I mean, that's all I've done. Spent time with my family, travel out here to Philly. Was with H-Man, and that's it for real. Just looking for a good food spot, so if y'all got anything, let me know.
To follow up, I guess, besides finding good food spots, just you mentioned I'm ready to play basketball. So
Yeah.
What are sort of your priorities as far as getting ready for Summer League, or just sort of what's first on your to-do list as far as getting the on-court stuff going?
Yeah, just getting to know the whole team. Just building relationships with them, because I'm gonna be playing with them. So just getting to know the whole team, and yeah, that's it. That's the first thing I need to do.
Hey, fellas, over here. Kyle Newbeck from PHLY. Welcome to Philadelphia, first of all. VJ, you've been a versatile guard up to this point in your career, like played at Baylor with Robert Wright, with Jeremy Roach, so you're on ball, you're off ball, obviously a crowded backcourt here. What have you heard from the front office, the coaching staff about how they envision your rookie year going and how they're going to use you on offense specifically?
Yeah, the main thing, they tell me I have to work for it. Just prove, and then just fit into what Coach Nurse has going on. I'm here to buy in, so whatever role, we ain't talk about that, to be honest, but whatever role they have me playing, I'm just willing to buy in.
I'll make sure you get some good food recommendations
Sure,
after we're done this.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Kai Carlin, Sixers Wire, USA Today. Johni, you had a decorated career, college career at Auburn. Was this, I guess, maybe a shock to you that you fell in the second round? Do you use that as motivation or a chip on your shoulder, moving forward?
I don't really take too much in on where I got picked at versus, who picked me. Obviously the 76ers felt like I was the right fit for their team. So I'm going to always have a chip on my shoulder wherever I got picked at, so I'm ready to work, prove people wrong.
Now, if I could just real quick follow up for both of you, I mean, what kind of conversations have kind of been like with Coach Nurse, and just what is maybe instructions for the summer or anything like that for either of you?
No, for me, I ain't talk much. He told me welcome, so I'm just looking forward to just having a conversation with him today or tomorrow, whenever I see him. So that was it for him.
Same thing, just kind of enjoy the moment. He kind of let us soak it in. But I think we'll talk more, today or tomorrow or whenever it is.
Johni, this question's for Johni. Over here. I know I'm short. Sorry. Tony Jones from the Athletic. What is the value of, I know that you're on the player side, but what's the value of, possibly just drafting guys that, are winners at the college level or, productive at the college level, despite whatever measurables or whatever the athleticism is, sort of like, what you did this year with Auburn?
I think, we're here to play basketball, and, they thought that I was a good basketball player. All the things that go inside of it can be taken however you want to take it, but at the end of the day, we're still playing basketball. So I think I contribute to winning. I'm a hard worker. I'm a good teammate. And I'm a good guy to have in our organization. So I think that's why they, chose a guy like me.
Paul Hudrick, Liberty Baller Stuff. Johni, for you, just with your game, the way you play and your ability to kind of operate as like a hub offensively and pass, have you kind of taken a step back and envisioned what it's going to be like to play with Tyrese Maxey, with Jared McCain, with VJ?
Yeah, I'm kind of whatever my role is going to be, I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to try to be the best team I can be, best player I can be, and I just want to win. So whatever it takes to win, I'm going to do it. But it's going to be fun playing with guys like VJ, Tyrese, Jim McCain, Joel, Paul. It's going to be very fun. Just kind of learning from those guys and kind of just being a student.
If I could just follow up, just you kind of are combo big. Just how do you see that in the NBA? Do you think you can play both the 4 and the 5?
Oh, I think I can. I think the league is kind of going a little bit to 2 bigs a little bit. You see a lot of teams doing that a little bit more often now, as you would say. So, whatever they want me to play, 4 or 5, both, it don't matter. Like I said, I'm going to compete. I'm going to work hard. So I'm just ready to play.
VJ, Johni, congratulations to both of you. Welcome to Philadelphia. Congratulations to the families as well. Crystal Rich, CBS Philadelphia. VJ, you were asked about offense, but on the other end of the court, you're very vocal about not just being a willing defender, but someone who loves to go out there and play defense. Exactly where does that philosophy come from for you?
Growing up, if you wanted to play, you had to play defense. So I feel like that's where it all started for me. And I just hate to see people score, and I hate to lose. Like I said, if they score more points than you, you lose. So I just hate losing. So if I have to play defense the whole time, I love doing that. So yeah,
we love hearing that. And Johni, 5 years of college hoops experience. How has that matured you and readied you to play on the next level?
I think it just matured me in ways that my game needed to grow. Areas that needed improvement, but I think it allowed me to kind of face adversity. Maybe when times get tough, or I've been through times where I'm not shooting well, or, I've lost a game or 2 in a row, so I kind of know how to overcome that and bounce back. So, you can't get in your head too much. So I think that's mainly what those years have helped my game with, because, when I was a little younger, I was maybe, took it a little differently, I'd say.
VJ, Johni, welcome to Philly, both of you. Johni, for you, Zach Chavalella, Metro Philadelphia, Philly Sports Network. Johni, for you, positionally, there's not, you're a little bit on your own there in terms of being able to play power forward. Do you see yourself ready to kind of step in and fill those minutes right away? Have you had conversations with Nick about being ready to kind of come in off the jump?
No, we haven't talked about any roles, any positions. Obviously I'm going to have to work. I'm going to have to put in a lot of work if I want to step on the court anywhere, so that's something I'm willing to do. Like I said, we haven't talked about any roles or, playing minutes or anything like that. So, but I'm just glad I'm in Philly.
Absolutely. And VJ, for you, Daryl talked about Eric Gordon, and you mentioned him as well previously. Have you talked to Eric since? You guys linked up. Are you excited to be teammates?
Yeah, we talked before. He was like, hopefully you're my teammate. But ever since, he congratulated me, and that was it. Just looking forward to speaking to him.
Austin Krell on Pattison. VJ, how did you spoke about it a little bit last night, but how did your experience in the Olympics sort of accentuate what you think you can do on the floor, and how would you compare and contrast that Olympic environment to the collegiate environment at Baylor?
Yeah, it helped mature my game, helped me to play with great players, because I wanted to come to the NBA, and you have great players on the court at all times, so I was blessed to be able to play alongside other great players. So it just helped mature my game, my mindset, how I think, how I carry myself. And it's totally different from the college game. More spacing. In college, you can sit in the paint the whole time, crowd the lane. So, it's 2 different ball games.
And Johni, what was your pre-draft process like? Did you have any interaction with Philadelphia in that time?
Yeah, I actually went through the process 2 years ago, and we had a great talk at the Combine 2 years ago, and they kind of told some things that I needed to work on, to improve. And this past year, I had another talk with them as well at the Combine, and they was, impressed by me making that jump, me doing the things that they kind of talked about I needed to grow in. So I think they can see the growth and the developmental part in me that still has room to improvement, and yeah.
Hey, Janai, Matt DeGeorge from the Delco Times. If you could expand on that, what were some of the things that you talked about in that first draft process that you think you took back to Auburn that you were able to improve on in that process?
Just getting my motor to run a little bit more. Just playing a little bit faster. Also, rebounding a little bit more at a higher level. Working on my body. Kind of getting in better shape, things like that.
This is for Janai. Keith Pompey for the Philly Inquirer. Both of you guys are leaders, and we know where his leadership comes from. Where does your leadership come from? Everybody talks about you were like the leader at Auburn.
Yeah, I'd say, my will to win and, me hating to lose, So, when you hate losing, you do whatever it takes. And if that's, owning up to your mistake or calling out one of your teammates' mistakes, I think that's what helps winning, when everybody's bought in and everybody's on the same page of wanting to win. So I think that's just where it comes from.
And personality-wise, how do you think that you will fit in with this group?
I think I fit in great. I have a great personality. I love to laugh. I love to have fun, but also, like I say, love to compete, love to win. So I'm going to compete on the court. I'm going to, be a little bit more fiery on the court, but off the court in the locker room, I'm a good guy, fun guy to be around, things like that.
VJ over here again, Kyle Newbeck from PHLY. You obviously played with and against a lot of these guys at the top of the class. We saw you at the draft. I think you and Trey Johnson, showed some love to one another after getting drafted. How excited are you for Summer League coming up where you actually get to go against these guys in the pros for the first time?
Yeah, like you said, I've played against them. I know they've gotten better. I've gotten better. But I'm just looking forward to playing alongside my teammates. I'm not worried about the opponents or whoever's on the next team. I'm just happy to, meet new teammates, get to know everybody, and continue building relationships, and hopefully win the Summer League.
Hey, Noah Levick, NBC Sports Philadelphia. VJ, we just heard Janai say he's sort of a fiery guy. How would you describe yourself as a teammate and a competitor and sort of your defining traits there?
Yeah, I feel like I'm someone fun to be around. I always want to meet new people. It's a good thing to just have relationships with them on and off the court. So I feel like I have a relationship with everyone of my teammates in the past, and I just looking to continue doing that. So yeah.
VJ, back here again. Just of all those people that you've met so far in the last couple of days, what is the best or most meaningful conversation or piece of advice as you start this journey? Kind of what sort of stands out as far as, okay, this has been meaningful in this moment at this time?
I'll say the Philly fans. I met some of the Philly fans. They're super excited for me to be here. They had me saying "Go Birds." So yeah, I'm just excited to be here, man, and they're showing love, so I love it.
Crystal Rich again, CBS Philly. VJ, it's not only cool that you're here in the city of brotherly love, but you displayed those qualities well before you got here. Draft night, we learned something very special about you and what you did with your NIL money. Can you explain what that story is and why that was important to you?
It was important because knowing not everyone is fortunate enough to go to certain schools or to have NIL money. I just always want to give back to where I'm from, because I was in their shoe at one point, and I just want them to know that I have their back, and they treat me as a role model, and I'm super blessed to be in that position. So I feel like just giving back is like a meaningful thing to me.
And just a reminder for everyone here, what was it exactly that you did do with that money?
Yeah, so gave scholarships to a few kids on the islands. I didn't pick them personally because I didn't want to show I don't think I have favoritism or anything. So I just let the school pick whoever they wanted to, and I just pay for it.
Here, VJ, Kai Cortland, Sixers Wire, USA Today, real quick. The other night you were talking about your work ethic, how hard you work, the reason why you work so hard, things like that. What are the next steps work for you now that you're here in the league, what's the kind of the next step for you in terms of work and things like that?
Yeah, to continue getting better. Just sit there. I'm a visual learner, so I just like to watch everyone else work out. So, if I just have the opportunity to just watch even, Johni or other players on the team just work out, I'll do that because I can learn from anybody. So it's not just on the court or physical work, just the mental part of it too. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll transition to the photo portion now.